By now, you should be able to appreciate that poetry is a unique piece of writing. Because this is so, you will have to demonstrate your understanding and appreciation of poetry as a craft. In this lesson, we will explore a series of pertinent questions and attempt answering them for the purpose of enhancing our understanding of poetry. For the answers to the questions which will be asked, your best chance is revising an approach for reading poems, and while reading, keeping in mind key questions which will guide your understanding. Start off by reflecting on the title. It may provide clues about the theme. What is theme? If by chance you forgot what theme is, it is the message embedded in the poem. After reflecting on the title, read the poem aloud. Listen to its sound and rhythm. Read it slowly. Read it several times. Note interesting themes. Note interesting images and lines. Ask questions such as, what is the poem about? How is it written? Why is the poem written in a particular way? The areas of focus when studying a poem are represented on this chart. Study the chart. After reading, and when we are at a fairly comfortable level of understanding, we will then need to test our general understanding of the poem by asking, is the poem about an event, an issue, a personal experience, or is it about an emotion? Then we want to focus on theme. As mentioned earlier, theme is the poet's message for readers. What is the poet's intention? This could be the writer or speaker's purpose for presenting the experience. Is it clear? Is the purpose worthwhile? A focus on theme and or the intention of the writer or speaker will make us reflect, and we will then have a personal response. So we will have to ask, is the poem appealing to me? If not me, then who? Is it enhancing my awareness and experience of life? Does it give me a new perception of things of the world and people? Is it evoking an emotion? Does it inform? delight, disturb, irritate, or does it surprise? Next, the mood created by the poem should be up for question. Mood is the atmosphere created in the poem. What is the mood or feeling evoked or aroused? How is the mood or feeling created? And does the language, style, rhythm of the poem contribute to the mood? An examination of mood should then lead us to tone. What is the poet's attitude towards the subject and the audience? How is the tone created? How does the language build tone? And how does rhythm create tone? Then the structure. This is the form or pattern a poet chooses for the arrangement of thoughts. Is the poem composed in a familiar form? Is the form effective, original, creative? And does the form match the content, experience, or theme? Lastly, we want to study the language. At the heart of poetry is figurative language. That is, the use of language to describe one thing in terms of something else. How does the choice of words contribute to meaning? How are words used or arranged to create impact, impressions, or special effects? And what part does imagery play in conveying meaning? Let's read with these elements in mind and attempt highlighting these features. 1. By James Berry. Only one of me, and nobody can get a second one from a photocopy machine. Nobody has the fingerprints I have. Nobody can cry my tears, or laugh my laugh, or have my expectancy when I wait. But anybody can mimic my dance with my dog. Anybody can howl how I sing out a tune. And mirrors can show me multiplied many times, say dress up in red or dress up in gray. Nobody can get into my clothes for me, or feel my fall for me, or do my running. Nobody hears my music for me either. I am just this one. Nobody else makes the words I shape with sound when I talk. But anybody can act how I stutter in a rage. Anybody can copy echoes I make. And mirrors can show me multiplied many times, say, dress up in green or dress up in blue. For a short overview, this poem appears to be about a personal emotion. More directly, the poem seems to be about personal value. The message to readers can be: value your idiosyncrasies, or value your differences, because they make you special. It should be clear that the speaker's intention is to share her discovery of self. For Theme, the poet seems to be saying to readers, do not be distracted by disguises. Nobody can do or operate like you. Mood. The feeling aroused by the speaker is related to that of reflection and pride. These feelings are created with the speaker's adamancy expressed with I declarations, such as, I am just this one, and the speaker's confidence expressed with the repetition of nobody statements, as in, nobody has the fingerprints I have, or nobody else make the words I shape. These aroused the feeling of reflection and pride. Attitude. The speaker's attitude towards the subject seems steadfast. Repetition of nobody builds momentum and shows confidence. Tone. The tone almost seems smug, and it is created and built with the consistent negative statements beginning with the word nobody. Structure. The poem appears to be that of a free verse. It doesn't have a fixed pattern in relation to line length, rhyme, or stanza form. The poet freely expresses his thoughts, almost like a conversation. There are other poetic structures to learn about. Do some research on poetic structure and make some short notes. Language. As early as stanza 1, the poet makes use of metaphor. A metaphor lets us see certain specific ways in which two unlike things are similar. In this poem, the poet's use of photocopy machine is for us to think of mothers giving birth compared to the process of a copy machine producing duplicates. Later in the poem, there is also use of contrast. Set off with those but statements. Explain what you think the poet has managed to achieve with contrast. Do some more research and comment on its effectiveness. Until we meet again, and if the means allow, rewatch like and share the video.